see, a writer can profit from things that may be just unpleasant or boring to someone else because he uses those subsequently as material for writing. And I would say that the experience I had that's described in Junkie later led to my subsequent books like Naked Lunch, so I don't regret it. Incidentally, the damage to health is minimal, no matter what the American Narcotics Department may say.
Well, the damage to
health from addiction is minimal.
But it has done things to your soul.
No, we'll read one of the early authorities like De Quincey. For one thing, he would never live to be 72 unless he had taken opium because he had tuberculosis. And I think he would say the same as I say, that he didn't regret his experience with drugs.
Well, you can say, and I will not argue whether the permanent damage to health is severe, but talk for a moment about being on the bottom, if you would, about what happens to why do junkies never bathe? Now, this is a serious question, not a. There's a physiological thing.
I don't know. They get like cats. They can't stand water on their skin for some reason or another.
That's one of the symptoms that,
Yes,
that you went through.
One of the symptoms. They rarely bathe.
What happens to your perception of reality?
Well, it's always to be remembered that junk or any kind of opiate is a painkiller, and therefore it will lessen your perception of reality.
What happens to your sexual appetite?
Practically non-existent.
What happens to your appetites for food?
It definitely reduces your appetite.
What happens to your ability to cope with day-to-day crises?
Nothing. Nothing whatever. Many. See, I've been in England where addicts obtained their heroin quite legally through doctors, and many of the addicts were lawyers, doctors, bank tellers, etc. So far as creative work goes, I say very definitely contraindicated. And I would never have been able to write Naked Lunch, for example, unless I'd been off heroin.
Are you, William Burroughs, still a junkie?
No. No, absolutely not. I haven't used been addicted to opiates for years.
No, but an alcoholic who is not using alcohol will stand and say, I am an alcoholic.
He will indeed, yes.
And I'm still under that addiction. And you say that, you imply that through the book, that addiction stays with you. Are you not still addicted to heroin simply not having used it for many, many years?
That's the question. It is not exactly the same problem as alcohol. As you know, an alcoholic can he can't drink a glass of beer. But if an addict goes to a hospital, say for an operation, he takes the normal amount of medication that would be administered, he doesn't necessarily become re-addicted.
Then, if what you're saying is true, explain this quotation. Junk causes permanent cellular alteration. Once a junkie, always a junkie. You can stop using junk, but you are never off after the first habit. That's William Burroughs in Junkie.
Yes. And I would question that statement now. At that time, I had not taken the apomorphine cure, which was the way I finally got off junk, was through apomorphine, taken with Dr. Dent in London. And after that cure, I would question that statement. whether there is a permanent cellular
You do feel
alteration.
yourself permanently cured.
I do,
Yeah.
yes.